Matthew McConaughey's turbulent childhood still affects him today.
Honestly, I heard that many times. I love you, Matthew. I just don't like you right now. My mom and dad had quite enjoyed a tumultuous, rocky, big wave relationship. They were divorced twice, married 3 times.
How did Matthew cope with the death of his dad?
You don't have your dad to rely on anymore to catch you when you fall.
Incredible things happen to a man after they lose their father.
And how did his mum's unconventional parenting shape him?
If you didn't show some gratitude, she'd slap the table and send you back to your room.
You're acting like the kid with no shoes. I'm gonna introduce you to the boy with no feet.
I'm your parent, I'm your mother, and you do what I tell you to do.
Matthew's parents had a tumultuous relationship. Oftentimes, it could get physical.
That is how they communicated. They were divorced twice, married 3 times. I mean, yeah, it was like the Pacific Ocean in a storm. My mom and dad had quite enjoyed a tumultuous, rocky, big wave relationship.
Both his mum and dad were extremely strict. And they were heavy-handed when it came to discipline.
I grew up around a little more because I said so. I mean, I heard that many times. I love you, Matthew. I just don't like you right now.
I'm your parent, I'm your mother, and you have respect for me, and you do what I tell you to do. And I used to tell them, when you get 18, go out in the world. But until you're 18, you are mine.
But his mum was always ready to teach them humility.
If you didn't show some gratitude, she'd slap the table and send you back to your room.
Don't come back in here until you're ready to see the rose in the vase instead of the dust on the table. Nobody guaranteed you the sun was gonna rise today. And you're like, whoa, okay.
Even if you were in a bad mood, she'd be like, you're acting like the kid with no shoes. I'm gonna introduce you to the boy with no feet.
One thing that was incredibly devastating to Matthew was the day he lost his father to a heart attack.
I know my father moving on and passing on from this life sobered me up in a way that I then stepped up and said, oh, you don't have your dad to rely on anymore to catch you when you fall.
What happens to a man after they lose their father? Incredible things happen to a man after they lose their father.
Matthew learned invaluable lessons from his dad.
Oh, courage, integrity, Anybody loses a family, you lose a father, that's the main crutch in a man's life.
My father and the people that I met that were around him had that insatiable appetite for life. It was yes, yes.
And Matthew believes he owes his success to his father.
He really instilled values in myself and my 2 brothers, values that I know I wouldn't be sitting here the man I am with the life that I've got if he wouldn't have worked to instill.
From his mom, he learned how to stay positive.
I have always been a positive thinker, and that's what I would say, the power of positive thinking. Use it, be it, do it. When you start thinking negative, it pulls you down.
Despite his parents' constant fighting, they taught Matthew how to love, to respect, and to forgive.
Those moments were so quickly, always, 100% of the time, so quickly superseded by the love and the humanity. I said the love always superseded by far and enveloped everything and just sort of overran however ugly the situation might have been. The love was never in question.
But what has he learned from the turmoil of his parents' marriage?
Camilla and I don't have a relationship like my mom and dad. We have a love that we never question. And with our kids, we have certain rules that for discipline for our children that they understand the expectations of. We probably get more discussions with our kids than my parents did with me. You know what I mean?
Matthew is, in fact, completely opposite to his parents.
I don't remember the last time I raised my voice to Camilla. It takes a lot for me to explode, but I think I do a pretty good job of trying to maintain and care for each relationship in my family well enough so it doesn't get to a point where I'm exacerbated or I have to raise my voice.
Even though his own dad was so strict, he had taught Matthew the value of fatherhood.
Just because you help make a child doesn't mean you did the work of a father. Fatherhood is a verb. As in life is a verb. There is fatherhood. Now comes the verb part. Now comes the hard part.
And nothing is more important to him than being a dad.
The only thing I ever knew I wanted to be was to be a father in my life. I can't think of anything more important. And you know, being a father and being a mother, it's how we become immortal, almost literally immortal.
How did your parents raise you? And what memories do you have to share?